Hi there, my name is Denise Callery and welcome back to Getting Started on a Whole Food Plant-Based Diet. So last time we went over all of the big rules, basically the things that you can't have. So you can't have any meat or dairy, including cheese. You can't have any oil or eggs. So I hope everybody's been doing well with that. I hope you've been surviving without cheese. But now we want to look at fine-tuning and just fine-tuning your diet a little bit better. A lot of people see results when they first get started. I hope that you are, but it's okay if you're not. You may be seeing a little bit of weight loss. You may be seeing that if you're tracking your numbers, that your numbers have gone down, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, all of these things are great. So I hope that you're seeing results. But again, it's fine if you're not. Not everybody sees them right away. Just keep going. So when we're fine-tuning your diet, the biggest thing that we want to do is try to incorporate more greens. If you follow Dr. Esselstyn, he says to eat 6 servings of leafy greens a day, the best ones being kale, spinach, arugula, Swiss chard, beets, and beet greens. So eat as many of those as you can. I would love to be showing you our recipe for kale. We normally would have it almost every day, but right now we can't, and we're having a hard time finding it. So once we get back on track, I will definitely show you our favorite kale recipe. Other things that you should be eating right now, hopefully you are incorporating lots of legumes, lots of beans, whole grains, fruits, other types of vegetables. You can have all of these things. They make great snacks, especially if you're stuck home like we are. Try not to go for the processed foods. Try to eat whole plant foods. They're so much better for you. And when you're eating these whole foods, you want to do just that. You want to eat the whole food. Don't do smoothies. Don't be juicing. When you juice a vegetable, you're basically just taking the sugar and squeezing it out of it, and you're leaving behind all the fiber and all that stuff that's good for you. The sugars in fruit are fine as long as you're eating the whole fruit. Another great snack when you're stuck at home is popcorn. I always talk about popcorn because I love it. And I have found the secret to keeping it crunchy without oil. So basically just take your air popper, pop the popcorn. Hopefully you like Liquid Aminos like I do, or some other, maybe a vinegar or something like that. Just spray it on the popcorn with a little sprayer. Then I put it on a cookie sheet, put the oven on like 350 and bake it for a few minutes until it's dry again, and it comes out perfect. It stays nice and crunchy. We talked a little bit last time about carbs and how carbs are not your enemy. Just be sure that you are eating the complex carbs, no simple carbs, no processed carbs. Don't be eating the potato chips while you're stuck at home. Just try to go for something better. Make yourself some French fries, or you can take, I just spoke to my mom earlier, you can take some chickpeas and put some seasoning on them and roast them in the oven. It's delicious. There's a lot of things that you can go for without reaching for that bag of chips. And stay out of the kids' Easter candy. If you do find yourself looking to go for the cookies and the snacks during this time, you can make your own. I have a great recipe for chocolate chip cookies on my webpage. You can make granola bars, and like I said, the popcorn, fruits, cut up vegetables. That makes a great snack. Crackers. You can make tortilla chips. Just take a corn tortilla, cut it into little triangles, put it on a cookie sheet for about, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes on 350, and you'll have nice tortilla chips without oil. You could spritz those with the Liquid Aminos also, or some type of seasoning before you bake them, and dip them into hummus. You can make hummus out of the chickpeas that you have on hand if you don't decide to roast them. There's all kinds of things that you can snack on, so don't let that be something that discourages you. And let's get into dietary fiber a little bit. You need to have between 25 and 35 grams of dietary fiber, and most Americans are not getting that. Dietary fiber will help you lose weight. It helps to lower your cholesterol. It also helps to reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease. It fuels your healthy gut bacteria. It increases your bowel health. So make sure that you're getting enough of that dietary fiber. So where do you get your dietary fiber? You can get that from lentils and beans. There's about 10 to 15 grams per cup in those. You can get it from fruit. There's about 4.5 grams in an apple. Brown rice, nuts, oatmeal, chia seeds, whole wheat spaghetti, raspberries, you name it. It's in all plants. You need it, so make sure that you're getting enough of it. So let's talk about some of the challenges of a whole food plant-based diet, because there are certainly plenty. You could have challenges with family members. You may have challenges with friends that want to go out. Maybe they're afraid to ask you to go out now because there's nothing there for you to eat. You may have people that want to cook for you, and it's kind of awkward because you're so particular in what you will eat. All of these things are big challenges, but you can overcome them. And maybe right now during this time, it's not something that you have to deal with, but you will down the line. So with stuff like that, I would say if you're going to a friend's house, just offer to bring a dish yourself. Make sure it's something that'll fill you if it happens to be the only thing that you can eat. And make sure it's something that everybody else will enjoy. At work, you may have parties, birthday cakes, things like that. Usually for that, I just say no thank you. I'll go down and visit my coworkers, but I just won't take the cake. Other things, traveling can be a challenge, but again, that's probably not much of a challenge right now. So how do we deal with these challenges? Maybe your family is very supportive and maybe they're not. But if you don't have support within your own home, you can find support in other places. There are a lot of support groups on social media. Forks Over Knives has a great support group. I would just say with that type of group, just make sure that you're on there for the moral support. They sometimes, because the group is so big, they may not give the best advice on what to eat. Some things are not quite so compliant. But as far as support goes and the success stories, there's so many on there. So join one of those groups and find your support there. Other challenges may be the cost. Some people seem to think that that it costs a lot of money to eat the way that we do, which it really doesn't. I mean, you're not buying meat anymore, so if you're eating rice and beans, that certainly costs a lot less than a pound of beef. And speaking of getting support, you also want to be supportive of your family members who may not be ready to transition yet. You have found this new way of eating. You feel great. You want everybody else to feel great. You want to shout it to the world, and you want to slap the cheese right out of their hand. But you can't do that. Don't yell at people. Don't be condescending, and don't tell them what they should or shouldn't eat. Just lead by example and let them see how good that you're doing, and hopefully one day they'll follow. You can, if they ask questions, by all means, give them the information. I mean, once somebody gets me started talking about a whole food plant-based diet, I don't stop, and I have to kind of hold myself back. But just don't be pushy and don't be condescending, because that's just going to push them away. In our next video, we're going to get into a little bit about stocking up your pantry, reading labels, how to not spend too much money, and maybe even into a little bit about your kitchen tools and appliances. But right now we are going to show you how to make vegetable broth from scratch. That will help you save a little bit of money, and it'll help you save on vegetable scraps. Today I'm going to show you how to make vegetable broth from your veggie scraps. In our last video, I had told you when you cut up your carrots and your onions to save the pieces. So we have an end of a carrot, we have the peels from a carrot, and we also have the onion. So we put the ends of the onion, we'll throw them in for our veggie scrap. Also, like the ends when it gets, you know what, the brown stuff we're going to put, that goes in our compost pile. We don't waste anything. But you can peel off this part, and you save this for your veggie broth, your veggie scraps. So I keep the gallon bag, I keep it in the freezer. And every time I cut up an onion or a carrot, I just put the ends into the bag and throw them in the freezer. Once the bag gets full, you put it into a pot, you just dump the whole thing in, add a little bit of water. You fill the pot with water, and then you let that simmer for a couple of hours. Once that's done, I like to let it cool because it's easier to work with. So I have one that I prepared here earlier. So this is my pot. This has simmered yesterday for quite a while. Veggie scraps to make some great broth. The way that I strain it is kind of cool. This is actually a 1 gallon paint strainer bag that Chris gave to me to use for this purpose. So what I do is take the bag, line the pot with it, take your pot with your veggie broth and scraps, just dump that in. You take your strainer bag, lift it out. Here, so to show you, lift it out, and we just have a nice pot of nice brown broth. I don't want to dump out. And then to squeeze this out, I usually grab a colander, throw it on top of the pot, and let this bag sit for a little while. Just kind of mash it down, and then after it all fills, we're just going to squeeze the bag, get all the juice out, and then you have your homemade veggie broth, and that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Again, we're kind of quarantined here, so I'm just trying to do this myself. I don't have professional lighting or anybody really to help me. My kids are being great, and they've been helping me to... Michael, I see you! You can't do this to me! You guys need to leave. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe,
and click the bell icon to get notified.
And click the bell icon to get notified of future videos. Thank you.